Welcome, everyone. Before diving into today's theme, I invite you to join the Awaking Now Book Club in 2023. This space allows light workers and peacemakers to dive deeper into their healing process, a space for us to connect, share our experiences, and surrender to the light within. In this book club, we will read one book every 2 months and explore spiritual wisdom, mysticism, psychology, and other ancient philosophies applied in modern life. I feel like many of us are feeling this need to be connected to like-minded people. This is a community to support your journey of creating synergy with your soul's wisdom. Sign up until December 17 and get a discount for the first 3 months using the code BookClub23. Visit lucamy.com/bookclub. Another way we can work together is through private sessions. In the private sessions, I use hypnotherapy and different healing tools to guide my clients in creating life transformation. I have helped hundreds of people to improve their health, heal from trauma, improve the quality of their lives, and find their true purpose. Through private sessions, you will gain more clarity about what unconscious patterns are holding you back and gain tools to release them and bring forth your visions. Visit lucamy.com to learn more. And if you want to receive updates about episodes and events, please sign up for my newsletter, Journey to Self. I share powerful tools and insights to guide your journey in living your truth. We can connect on social media. My Instagram is lu.camy, and I also have the Soul Synergy Experience account. You can follow that as well. All right, so I'm excited about the theme today. Today's episode is based on a request that I received from a listener. This person just sent me an email and asked me questions, and I thought was very interesting. And I would like to share some of the thoughts that this person shared with me. And I would like to say that if you want to share your thoughts or questions, please send an email to lucamy@lucamy.com. So let me read. I wonder, what is A Course in Miracles' perspective on rejection? On one hand, we might be rejected from certain things, professionally, relationship-wise, etc., because our soul has a higher purpose. On the other hand, if a certain rejection pattern plays itself out constantly, I do not think it is linked with a higher purpose, but rather an obstacle, negative karmic pattern. In my instance, I keep not being chosen as a romantic partner. I am 34, never been in a relationship with a man, despite knowing many men. Although I have all the personality and energetic qualities to be an excellent partner, I keep being rejected in this area. I wonder how many people have similar experiences. So thank you so much for sharing your story. And yes, I would like to share some visions on that, some insights. Who perceives rejection is not your higher self, it's your ego. Who perceives rejection is the wounded self. Your wounded self behaves in ways that, create situations where you experience the same feelings. In this case, you experience rejection often has a pattern in your relationships. We can draw some spiritual wisdom from the book A Course in Miracles, for example. We are not a body, but it is the attachment to the body. It is the attachment to the ego's thought system that keeps us in this body. When we perceive rejection, we are only perceiving the body. We're not perceiving the soul or the spirit. And as you said, I think everything has a higher purpose. Every situation, every relationship is an opportunity for soul growth. It is the resistance to accept the lesson that keeps us stuck in the patterns. So when we learn from them, we can actually transform them. But when we resist the learning experience, we end up sometimes experiencing the same things over and over again until we are able to see them differently. When we experience rejection, we are not actually seeing things through the lens of the spirit, because the spirit has no shape or form. Spirit is divine, infinite love. If you are not experiencing love, you will perceive lack of love. You will perceive that something is missing. Nobody can take anything from you if you are in connection with divine, if you are in connection with cosmic truth, if you are in alignment, if you are in union with the divine. Nobody can take anything from you. Nobody can prevent you from experiencing love. When we are operating through the ego, we want to get love from bodies. So it's an ego that wants something from another ego, and that's not sustainable. When we are doing that, we go and we interact in the world, we interact with others, with our projections. So we are constantly projecting things, ideas, expectations, demands onto others. And when they don't fit what we think it's good, we feel rejected, or we feel bad, or we go into victimhood because we are expecting something. We want that love that we are not giving to ourselves from others. So we are constantly experiencing that lack of love, or that isolation. And when we talk about unconscious work, when we talk about trauma healing, we are going to talk about digging deeper and discovering what your unconscious mind is suppressing that is leading you to act in ways that prove that you are unworthy. If you experience situations in your childhood or even in past lives, if you experience rejection in your childhood, you might have the belief that you are unworthy, that you don't deserve love, that there is something wrong with you. Because we are developing our sense of identity until the age of 7. If we experience situations that led us to think this way, we might repeat them, we might act in ways to confirm these ideas. So when we are working in hypnotherapy, when we apply hypnotherapy tools to gain clarity about these unconscious patterns, most of the time we can release these emotions and beliefs that are blocking us and shift so we can create this fulfilling, more joyful, and healthier life. I don't believe that there is one way that we can create shifts. I believe that we can do this process of releasing the ego identification to soul connection. We can release false ideas about the self in different ways. One of the ways that I found that has helped me a lot is A Course in Miracles, which is a book in self-transformation, in spiritual transformation, and doing the daily lessons of this book. It's like meditations that you do daily. And through hypnosis, by reprogramming my subconscious mind and accessing deep trauma that was suppressed in my body and release it so I can make choices for myself that are not based on fear. They are more aligned with my truth. It is very important that we start to gain more awareness about the emotions that were suppressed and the limiting beliefs that are stuck in our subconscious, so we can access our true self, so we can make decisions based on our higher wisdom. I don't see another way to connect with our truth without doing this deep shadow work. I grew up in an environment that wasn't safe. My mom was suicidal. Father was an alcoholic. I had a lot of healing to do, and I still do a lot of healing. I still work on myself. But by being willing to really shed all these layers of pain, I came to transform a lot of patterns in my life. So when we experience rejection in relationships, we are projecting our pain. You can't be rejected if you are in union with the divine, if you are cultivating the bliss in you, if you are with yourself. The most important relationship is not the relationship that you have with others. It is a relationship that you have with yourself. How much you honor yourself. Do you respect yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you know yourself? Do you know your limits? Do you know what's not healthy for you? When we start to get to know ourselves more, we can relate to others in a way that is healthier, in a way that is a true exchange. But when we are resisting to do this deep work, this deep inner work, we go and we project. We bring our baggage, we bring our pain, we bring our projections, and then we end up feeling isolated. The relationship that we must honor is the relationship we have with God within, the universe, whatever you want to call, spirit. When we create attachment to the body, we are living a lie. We cannot get love from the body because the body is not the source. The person or the job itself, or they are not the source of your fulfillment. They are not the source of love. Love can flow through them. You know, a person can express love to you. A person can let this divine love flow, and you both can experience that, but that person is not the source of love. And that's why sometimes we can be so destructive, because we make people special, we make jobs special, we make job titles special. When one person is more special than the other, when you want more love from one person than you want from another, it's a lie. That's why we suffer so much, because we are living in the dream. We are living in an illusion. It is not real. And this is what the Course in Miracles says: we make the unreal real. And living in the illusion is very painful, very confusing. So what we are talking here is about changing values and bringing clarity. We are talking about surrender to the light, surrender to the truth of who we truly are. Perhaps you are in this process of inviting the new, welcoming the new. I actually recently had an experience with a client, and we did a lot of trauma healing, shadow work, and she wants to welcome a new relationship. She wants to be open to love again. And I noticed that she is coming to my office with a beautiful smile. Her eyes are shining. It is a completely different person. And I can sense now that she is in love with herself, connecting with her passions, and she's just a brilliant person, because she's now connected with her higher self. She is living her truth more. So she now can have meaningful exchanges. It seems to me that she is much more grounded, and she can have meaningful exchanges because she is closer to her truth. So sometimes, we want to experience things, manifest things in the physical world, and we can even manifest them, but sometimes they are not in alignment. They are not bringing the deep happiness that we want, because we are still looking at the wrong way. We are still behaving in a way that is old. We are still carrying old limiting beliefs. We still have suppressed emotions in the body. They no longer serve us anymore. I have a client who was having some issues with her partner. Every time she was talking about her partner, she would see him through her lens, through the lens of sickness. She would complain about his issues, his problems, his patterns, how debilitating his health issues can be to him, and how she feels about it. And then I brought the idea that what could happen in her relationship if she just leave aside all these labels, all the stories, all the images that she created about her partner, and start to just see his inner guidance, his wisdom, because everyone has inner wisdom. Everyone has wisdom. Everyone has a guidance system. And when we are constantly labeling others and seeing things through the lens, through our judgments, through the lens of the body, we end up feeling powerless, and we can make other people feel powerless as well. Because we are only related to the body. We are on the level of the body. When we raise consciousness, when we are creating synergy with infinite possibilities, when we transcend the body, we can create intimacy on a soul level, because we are giving the other person permission to show up, to transcend his or her limitations, and we are giving ourselves permission to transcend our own limitations as well. So I believe that in our interactions, we can start to practice seeing the body as neutral, no judgments, no good and bad, and seeing the word as neutral, not good or bad, and then strengthen our connection with the divine, or just digging a little deeper into this field of infinite possibilities, merging ourselves, creating synergy with consciousness, allowing ourselves to expand. A client of mine shared a lovely quote with me, and I would like to share with you. "The only man who behaves sensibly is my tailor. He takes my measurements anew every time he sees me, while all the rest go on with their old measurements and expect me to fit them." George Bernard Shaw. Amazing, right? So my questions for you: are you seeing yourself with the same measurements, or seeing others with old measurements? Are you giving yourself permission to grow, or giving others permission to grow, to change, to be something different than their limitations? Are you giving yourself permission to be something different, to grow and expand and be something different than your conditionings? Because conditionings contract us. Conditionings of the mind contract us, block us, and we get stuck. We get stuck in the patterns and unwanted behaviors that are not serving us anymore. Rejection is only an opportunity for growth, to see if we are still carrying old wounds, to see if we are still projecting onto others. And once we can let them go, let these wounds and expectations and projections, once we can let them go, we can be ourselves, and we can be more authentic in every situation. We are not vulnerable to the illusion. We're strong in truth. I remember that I used to be afraid of doing calls, like phone consultations. I used to have anxiety, real strong anxiety. I had to do hypnosis for that. I had to work on myself a lot. It was a hard work. And, just saying to you right now, it seems like kind of funny, because I love talking, I love communicating, but I had strong issues around communicating my truth, or around offering my services and speaking up and saying what I know, what I offer, how much I charge. I had real issues around that, and I worked through that. The issue was the issue of rejection, for sure. When we are attached to a sense of identity, we suffer, because then if that's not honored or appreciated, it is painful. The validation that we want from others, there will never be enough. If this validation doesn't come from the source, we are going to be always seeking validation from the outside. In the sense, if we are radical, if we give ourselves this radical self-acceptance, right? If we give ourselves this love and appreciation, then it becomes easier to receive love, because then we believe, we are vibrating this love, so we can just share that. And if anything that doesn't feel like love comes to us, that doesn't enter in our system, it doesn't stay in our system, because we don't make it real. We don't make lack of love real. I believe that we are always growing and expanding and learning. There is a person, a guy, that he created an experiment where he would put himself in situations where he could be rejected, so he spent many days creating situations so he could desensitize himself to the pain and shame that rejection often brings. And he discovered that asking for what he wants can open up possibilities, so he started to feel more comfortable with the fact that people can say no, and that's fine, right? But it's the meaning that you give to that no, to that experience, is what it's what can lead you to a path of learning and expansion, or a path of pain and stagnation. Thanks so much for being here today. I love it talking a little more about this topic. And if you would like to share more insights or ask me questions, please reach out to me, Lu Camy at lucamy.com. And for more information about my work, please visit my website. If you like the show, please share with your friends and leave a review.